Hey, everybody, let's talk about perception. Perception is how we perceive things, how we mentally interpret and define what it is that we're seeing, hearing, whatever it may be. But what makes perception? What, why is it that each individual can perceive things differently, can understand things differently, can take a subject and get something totally different out of it than someone else does? Perception can help us or it can destroy us. Perception is the key element in all of us achieving the destiny that we want, that we desire, to be on the right path, to be on the right spiritual path. If we are perceiving things correctly. And perception is based upon many different factors, but many of them are our past, the things that we've been through in life, the things that we've encountered in life, the good times and the bad times. All these things make us who we are, and we develop a mindset, and it is accustomed to that past. If I hope that makes sense. But the subject of perception is so important because I've seen so many people. As a certified life coach and spiritual teacher for many, many years, it it really it's a subject that it's very deep, but yet it doesn't have to be. Because in order to understand ourselves, we have to understand how we perceive things and why we perceive them that way. Just like being offended by something. You may be offended at something where somebody else didn't mean offense, but the way you perceived it, you took offense. But why did you receive that offense? Why did you feel that offense? And if we go backwards in time and we look at the things that you've been through, we look at the things that you've encountered in your life, or maybe haven't encountered in your life that you needed, we can begin to understand why it is that we perceive things the way we do. We're all on this path. We all want to achieve something, I hope. Whether it's just a good life, whether it's greater wisdom, whether it's a higher level of knowledge and wisdom in the magical realm, the spiritual realm, whatever it may be, we all have the things that we desire, the things that we want. But we have to be able to perceive things correctly before we can really move forward. Because if we're not perceiving things correctly, we may interpret something as bad and it's actually good, or vice versa, that it's good and it's actually bad. Perception can lead us astray if we're not careful. Our past can hinder us from achieving what it is that we want. We can understand ourselves. We can understand why it is that we think the way we do, why it is that we act the way we do, why the way, and he's like, Rachel, why are you talking about all this? Because I see so much of it, and I've went through so much of it, in my growth. And I think we're always growing, no matter what anybody ever tries to say. Nobody has fully attained any level of anything. We're all growing. We're all seekers. This is part of this path is the exploration. It is the hunger just to find more and more and more. But that's the whole thing about this is, in order to do that, we have to understand ourselves. We have to understand how we work. What makes us tick? What makes us feel the way that we feel? Because emotions can be very how you want to word it, emotions can be very deceitful, very they can trick us into not doing what we really want to do. And I hope that makes sense, because a lot of times, emotions like fear, we get, or self-doubt, or just feeling intimidated due to a low self-esteem, or anything of that nature. That perception is where we have to work on things. When we do this, we can understand ourselves. And I know I'm kind of repeating myself a little bit, but this morning I felt Spirit kind of say, hey, these are some of the things that are going on in the world today. And the pagan empire is about not only unity and empowerment, but it's about education, spiritual education of all the different paths. And that's kind of what we want to do. There's been a lot of people that have been confused about what the pagan empire was about. Talking things about, well, what happens if this religion and this religion get into arguments about religion, and how is this supposed to work with all these different religions, all these different traditions or paths, all working together? That's not going to work. But that is not what we're trying to do. What the pagan empire is wanting to do is to have available the resources for people to find what it is that they want. If you're looking for somebody, in North paganism, if you're looking for, Druid or shamanism or Wiccan or whatever it be, just a regular eclectic practice, if you're looking for specific groups, if you're looking for, that is what this is all about. It's all these people working together for that purpose. Nobody trying to control anybody. Nobody trying to be the head of something. Nobody trying to lead anything. The only thing that the pagan empire is trying to do is create that united resource that it empowers all of us. We don't have to search the internet for hours to try to find a teacher, or read all kinds of books because we can't find a teacher, or we end up finding a bad group because there's nothing out there that shows us where a group is, and a group that is a good fit for us. I'm talking about covens, clans, whatever that may be. I mean, even right now, if you were to just stop and say, well, I've been looking for a coven, and I've been, so that I can practice with a group rather than just being solitary all the time. But do you know where that's at? Do you know where to find one? Well, that's what the pagan empire wants to do, is to make that available. Now, I understand that not everyone's going to want that, but a lot of people would. A lot of people do. And this kind of fits in with the perception that I'm asking people to, when you look at the pagan empire, make sure we're perceiving things the way they truly are, and not the way that someone else interpreted. Because even myself, the words that I say, the words that I write, people can interpret those things differently. Written words are the hardest, because, like I said, 10 people can interpret one paragraph 5, 6, 7 different ways. But there's only one truth. And that one truth is the intent of the author. And when you don't have the right, I want to say the right resources to understand what that truth is, you have to go to that author. You have to go to that creator and find out what it is that they actually meant. Because that's perception like that and interpretation has been the biggest destruction of this world. We see that by religion, even in Christianity, with all the separate different denominations and all these different things, people arguing about scripture, people arguing about this religion or that religion or whatever else, because it's perception and interpretation of how they perceive things. But there was only one way. There was only one truth, and that was the author that wrote it. So take some time when you're going through videos and you're listening to different people and you're hearing chit chat and you're listening to gossip or whatever that may be. Take some time and actually feel the person's intent. Understand where it is that they come from, who they are. And be blessed, everybody. Blessed be. I hope everybody has a great week. This is Richard Kent from the Pagan Empire. See you later.